Hi, welcome to A Man for All Seniors. I'm your host, Pete Schroeder, and today we're going to go into another story from the trenches, the men and women in the trenches, Tales from the Caregiving Front. And we have a letter here that we received from someone who sets up their story in terms of a situation and then a solution. In other words, they describe the situation they're in, and then they tell us how they solved or resolved the problem. So this letter is from Florida, and it goes like this. Here's the situation. Basically, I was mad at the world. My dad, my wife Sarah, my kids, and my job. That about covered it. Every day, I would spend many moments dwelling in a seemingly endless conversation with myself about how I couldn't stand other people, especially the people I supposedly loved the most. Now, there's many caregivers I know that are out there in a similar situation where they're just mad, they're just angry, and possibly for no good reason, but their fuse is so short. It was affecting my appetite, my sleep, and my work. I seemed to take it everywhere with me. I felt stressed, but mostly I was just blaming everyone. And then I started taking some pills to calm myself down a little, but they made me feel murky, and that's what I told the doctor. I didn't like the feeling. I explained that I felt out of control, not sharp, not myself. So that's the situation that this man is describing. Mad at everyone, trying to take some pills to control his emotions, but it's not really helping because they wear off quickly and then he feels sluggish and tired. So here's the solution. The doctor asked if I considered therapy. Forget it, I said, that's not for me. How about just one session? And a little voice somewhere said, try it, just one session. So the next thing I knew, I was sitting on a couch telling my story to a stranger. And when I listed everyone I was mad at and why, Dr. Gilroy asked a question that I will never forget. She asked, "What's wrong with you?" My first impulse was to answer, nothing is wrong with me. It's them. There's something wrong with them. But she went on, no, what do you think is wrong with you? What do you feel are your shortcomings? What do you perceive about your situation, which is taking care of your father, that has caused the feelings that you're throwing on to everyone else? She hit a nerve. I could tell she had cut past the outer anger to the inner shame. Then I said words that came from somewhere deep inside me, maybe from my heart. Even before I spoke, when I heard them in my head, my eyes filled with tears. I finally said it out loud. I can't fix him. I felt ashamed, embarrassed, exposed. I felt awful. She let me cry. She let me feel it. This pain had been tearing me up for so long. After a while, I settled back down and I finally took a deep breath. She spoke gently. What are you good at? She asked. I told her a few things. Are you doing the best you can? How could you do better? We spent a while looking at the facts of the situation without any opinions or judgments. I learned I was really mad at myself. I knew I could not fix Dad, and that was maddening. A few days later, I told my family that I was sorry, that I was on a short fuse, and it had nothing to do with them. And they were great. They said they understood. So now things are a little more in perspective. Dad's doing fair. I do what I can for him. Sarah and the kids help like before, and we go on. Not really a happy ending, but I feel good talking about it. So there you have a situation that's quite common for many caregivers. Their fuses get short. They find themselves being angry at so many different people for really not a very good reason. And so what can they do about it? How can they get it out? Well, one great thing that this man discovered was you can talk about it. You can just talk about how you're feeling without any judgment, any opinion by yourself or the listener. So talking is a great idea. If you can express your feelings that way, get them out of you, because when they're inside, they just percolate, they boil, and they'll come out at the least appropriate times. So I hope this letter helps some of you out there that find yourself in similar situations. Again, thanks for watching. Send your letters in to me.